We're going to start our warm-up with a little bit of foam rolling. If you don't have a foam roller, then you can just skip over the first exercise. And we're going to do glute foam rolling. So you can put the foam roller under your butt and basically move around. You'll see a lot of descriptions of people saying do this, do that. I just get on there, move around, move my leg back and forth like in the squatting position, because that's mimicking the movement that you'd be doing. You can get on the side of your butt at the top, underneath, closer to your hamstring. Get all around up in there. Go for about 30 seconds to 1 minute on each buttocks. Then we're going to get into some wrist work. We're going to do wrist circles. So you're going to do full circles of your wrist. Try to get the biggest circles that you can, and do about 10 in one direction and then 10 in the other direction. Then we're going to do wrist turns, so basically turning your wrists inwards and outwards. And with these wrist exercises, just notice if one side's different than the other or if you have any restrictions. Do about 10 each way. Next, we're doing palm presses. Put your palms down on the ground, spread your fingers as wide as you can, and then you're going to press up onto your palm. So this is wrist strengthening, you'll notice, because you're placing the weight onto your wrist. And that's going to help you develop stronger wrists, warm the wrists up, and do about 15 and work up to about 20 repetitions. Next, we're doing wrist rocks. You're going to put your palms down with your fingers pointing towards you. The closer your hands are to your knees, the less intense it is. The further away, the more of a stretch you're going to get. So find what's comfortable for you. And you're going to rock back and forth, stretching out the forearms and the wrists. And do about 10 of these before switching over and putting the backs of your hands down on the mat with your fingers pointing towards you. This one's a lot more intense, so please keep your hands closer to your knees. If it's painful, you don't want to put too much pressure on it. You don't want to be in pain, but just nice gentle rocks. You don't have to go as far as me. If this hurts too much, you can skip this one. Next, we're going to do a squat improving hip opener. Start in a tabletop position. Bring one foot up to the outside of your hand. And then you're going to slide the knee back. And then you're going to draw your belly button towards your foot. You can drive your knee out. Just keep your foot flat on the ground. Don't let your foot come up off of the ground. And then you can walk your hands to the other side and drive the knee out, just like if you were in a squat. That's why this is squat improving. You're opening up the range of motion here so that your knees don't cave in and you can get lower in your squat. You're going to do the same thing on the other side. See, tabletop position here. You're going to bring one foot up to the outside of your hand and push that leg back. You don't want there to end up being an arch in your low back, just like you wouldn't want that in other positions. So you want a nice straight back while you do this, especially while you walk your hands away and drive the knee out right here. Don't let there be an arch in your back. So work on that, feel what's good for you. Do about 30 seconds on each side, up to 2 minutes really, before moving on to the next exercise. Next, we're going to do seated windshield wipers. We've done these before. You're going to have a nice tall spine, so no hunch in your back. Bring those shoulders down and back. And you're going to drop your knees from one side to the other, opening up the hips. You may not be able to go all the way down. That's okay. Just find your range of motion and work that range, improving over time to drop the knees down to the side. And the movement should be coming from your hips, not your low back. Be sure of that. Do this for about 10 on each side. Next, we're going to get into a little crab work. So you're going to do 10 crab raises. Make sure that you're at the top of the crab. Your wrists are directly underneath your shoulders and your ankle is directly underneath your knee. So it's a nice little tabletop position. And you're going to drive through your full foot and hands and clench your butt cheeks at the top. And then after your 10, you're gonna high crab walk forward as far as you can. And then you're gonna high crab walk. Try to keep those hips up. Mine are very high here. Try to keep them up high as you can and crab walk back. And then you're gonna drop your hips down and do a low crab walk forward. And then a low crab walk back. If you don't have a lot of space, just go as far as you can back and forth until you feel like you're warmed up. Next, we're going to do plow to reach. You're going to round your back as you roll back, touch your toes behind you, and then as you come up, reach forward. You're going to roll back using your abs to bring your legs back. And then you're going to reach forward. You can have a bend in your knees and work towards bringing your knees towards your ears. Practice this one a little bit, and find you can keep your legs straight as well. And then roll forward and reach. I'm going to do 8 to 10 of these, and notice that rolling back becomes a little bit more easy with each one. And then directly from there, we're going into deck squat. So the same plow, and then you're going to stand up from the bottom of a squat to the top of a squat. This requires a lot of mobility in the ankles and hips. So if you're unable to perform a deck squat, please just stand up and do a regular squat. And we're going to do about 10 deck squats. If you're doing regular squats, you can do 15 to 20. Clenching your butt cheeks at the top. Next, we get the heart rate up. We're going to do in, out, out. Imagine there's a square there. You're putting your foot in, and out, out. You're going to do 3, and then you're going to do this squat tap. And you're going to repeat. In and out, out. Squat, tap. Your feet are coming together on the way up and down on the way out. On the squat tap. You might end up with your feet in and then going out, or opposite because of the in and out, out, but that's okay. Last one is going to be shuffle, shuffle, burpee with no jump. You can add a jump if you want, but I find you're going to want to stay low coming out of that burpee to do your shuffle, shuffle. Try to get out into the full plank position. I'm almost falling off this deck and there's a nail popping out, so I look a little bit decrepit. We're going to do about 10 of these all together, and then you should be ready for your workout.